sharing the live stream. All right, all right. Hello out there. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. How is everyone today on this lovely Friday? We are in our second week of the semester. Isn't that amazing? I mean, honestly, this is awesome. There's 16 weeks and we're in our second week. So there is just amazing things that you can do this semester to stay successful, to be successful, and to stay focused. So my name is Edwidge Dupard, the Peer Mentor Coordinator for the First Year Services Peer Mentor Lab. And with me today, I have my amazing, dynamic, wonderful peer mentor, Diane.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. Time flies. I mean, you are right. We are in our second week of the semester already.
Time is flying by, Diane. Diane, let them know a little bit about yourself, a little bit of background.
Of course. As you all know, my name is Diane Torres. This would be my fourth year at City. I'm still taking classes, but I actually just graduated this past spring semester. My major is in small business accounting, so I'm happy that I was able to accomplish my goal thanks to the resources and support that City has given me. But I also work with the peer mentors now, giving that same support to other students, and I'm happy to be able to assist all the students in helping themselves accomplish their own goals as well.
That is wonderful, Diane. I just want to say how proud I am of you. You are one of the leaders on campus, and I just appreciate your resourcefulness, so thank you. And today we got a special treat for you, City Ready Session Part 2 series. City Ready Session was designed to make sure that you're prepared for your college experience here at City College. Our first session consists of just helping you navigate through the online portals as far as MySDCCD, Canvas, the San Diego City College website, as well as our remote online services. Now, part 2 is more integrated in how you could be successful in the classroom and personally throughout the semester. So this City Ready session was designed for you, for your success. And so let's get into it, Diane. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. Give me one brief moment. And also, Diane, can you let them know about the chat, the comment section?
Of course. So our chat on YouTube, you guys are, while we're presenting, we want to make this as interactive as possible. So you're welcome to comment or ask any questions in the chat. We will be checking it to make sure that we're answering all of your questions. But also we encourage you to sign in to our link. We will be, or it's already posted in our chat. So please sign in. And then of course, us at the Peer Mentor Lab, if you're interested and need any assistance, we're available Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And you can call us for support at 619-800-2739, or you can also email us at sdcitycollegepeeradvocates@gmail.com.
Yes, thank you so much, Diane, for that. Yes, Keith, continue, please, Diane, sorry.
No, that's okay. And also you can make an appointment. We will be putting that link in the chat later on. So you're welcome to go ahead and make that appointment with us. We're also live on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Our handle is SDCityFYS. And there we will be posting important updates. You can find information about our events and other different resources that are coming out for students. And so we highly encourage you to follow us. We're also doing live workshops and presentations here on YouTube. We often go live every Friday for these City Ready sessions. So we highly encourage you to join us Fridays for the City Ready session, listen to the information, ask questions, and subscribe so that you get that notification when we go live.
Yes, yes. So you can see we're here for you. We try to be as available, as flexible, as convenient for you to receive the information you need so you can have a great semester. We want you to enjoy coming to college and being in college. So thank you, Diane, for going over some of our services and ways to reach out to us. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and start with the presentation. Hopefully everyone can see that. Is that okay, Diane?
Yes.
Awesome. So City Ready Sessions. Thank you for joining us today. This is an interactive session. So if you would like to post your name, what you're majoring in, if this is your first semester or your second semester, please do so in the comment box. We will be communicating with you. We want to hear from you. If there's a question that poses as we go through the workshop today, please let us know. We'll be happy to help and answer that question. So we want to hear from you. We're also posting a sign-in sheet. If you can just do me a favor, we want to know who attended today so we can follow up with you. So sign in on our sign-in sheet so we can follow up with you and kind of give you some updated information on academic dates, deadlines, scholarships that are coming out, programs and services that might help you along the way. So please sign in. All right, so let's begin. All right, so today's topic is going to be syllabus navigation, getting connected to your professor, which is a really huge one, time management and study skills, student success, support, services, and resources. So we're going to tap into all these topics today to give you some good insight. So how to interpret your syllabus. Before I jump into this, I just want you to know how important it is to really read your syllabus thoroughly. When I was younger, in like my first semester of college, not when I was younger, since I'm older now, but I really didn't take this seriously. I would just kind of skim down to where the assignments were due or their homework, was due, or when my quizzes were, and that's it. Because I was like, okay, that's all I need to know is when my deadlines are. No, that was a huge mistake. The syllabus is full of information that's going to help you along the way as far as the professor's contact, how to get in contact with him. Just really make sure that you're reading that syllabus thoroughly. It's going to save you in your college journey, okay? So, all right, what is a syllabus? So before we even jump into what consists of a syllabus, let's talk about what is a syllabus. A roadmap to the course and your success. So basically, it's laying out your class for you. It's laying out your expectations from the professor. It has a brief introduction from the professor. Maybe he or she is giving you a little bit of background. And sometimes that's important to know, to connect, to build that bond with your professor. You always want to make sure that you're connecting with your professor. A syllabus will give you important dates and deadlines. Like I spoke about previously, these dates are going to consist of homework assignments, discussion boards, when those are due, quizzes, tests, when they'll be releasing a PowerPoint or study guide so you can get a head start on that. So always look out for the important dates and deadlines. And I would recommend you use the syllabus in conjunction with the calendar. So you write and detail out those dates that are coming up so you know what to look for, when to start working on a certain assignment, when to start studying, how long you have. That's very important. Allows you to know what is going to happen in the class and plan accordingly. Like I said, so if you read your syllabus thoroughly and you know that your test is next Friday, that gives you about a week and a couple of days to study. So you can really plan out your life. Like I know some of us have full-time jobs or maybe have kids or outside obligations. So this is gonna help you kind of manage all of that. The key is to stay balanced so you can stay in the game for as long as you can and be successful at the end, okay? So an agreement between the professor and students. Once again, this syllabus is basically a contractual agreement. It's laying out like, hey, you're enrolled in my class. This is what I expect from you. These are the things that you're going to have to do in order for you to pass this class. If you don't do these things, then you might run the risk of failing. So it's going to consist of participation grade, your overall test and quizzes percentage, your overall homework, attendance in class. Some professors do count attendance. It's very important that you attend class. Now, I know we're all fully online. And so when I say attend class, there's classes that are fully online where it's no times, no set meeting times. And then there's remote classes which have set meeting times. And you want to definitely check those times because you're obligated to, jump in on Zoom and meet with the professor and your learning community as far as the students at that particular time in order for you to receive participation grade and attendance grade. Now, given to you by your professor in your first day of class. You should receive the syllabus within your Canvas shell. And sometimes professors kind of send that out early. I know my English 205 professor, he's amazing. Hector Martinez, shout out to him, just a dynamic professor. He sent out my syllabus a week before class. That was really helpful to me because I was able to kind of just look at it, really like do some self-reflecting on what it's going to take for me, how many hours I'm going to have to contribute to pass this class. So basically, that is a syllabus, a contractual agreement between you and your professor. He's communicating with you how the semester is going to be laid out. Okay. Now, what can be found on the syllabus? Like I mentioned before, professors' names, office hours, contact information, and course title, description of the course and the assignments, class expectations, calendar of dates and deadlines for the course, text and supplies, materials, and course materials that you'll need, like your books, or maybe there's a certain type of calculator you need, or you're gonna need to purchase this software in order for you to be in the class. So definitely read that. That's very important. And you want to get those in advance because as soon as the semester starts, homework is rolling. Assignments are needing to be turned in and you don't want to get behind. You want to make sure you got your books and all your course materials and supplies that you need so you won't fall behind. That's the key. Attendance policy, like I said, you know, you might have to attend class, so make sure you're on top of that. And you don't want to miss out on class because you might miss important information that might help you on a test, a quiz, a homework assignment. So you really want to be in class, and not only be in class, since we are remotely, you want to pay attention. You want to focus so you don't miss anything, okay? Grading scale, how the professor is going to grade. What's the rubric on that? How much is your tests and quizzes going to add up to percentage-wise, and your homework and your participation? This is very important. And student conduct. Of course, your behavior, being as respectful and considerate as possible with your professor and other students. So that's what the syllabus will entail. If there's any questions about that, I kind of went over that pretty quick. I'm going to give about a minute or so. If you have any questions about that, please comment on the in the comment section. I am here to answer your questions. I know Diane has been posting, so let me know if you have any questions. And if you haven't done so already, please sign in so we can hear from you and we can follow up. Give some time for that. All right. If there's no questions, I will move on. All right, so that was the syllabus. Now, we're gonna talk about how to build a relationship with your professor. All right, so this has saved my college life, guys, okay? This is no joke. I really didn't know the power behind, the influence behind building that bond, building that connection with your professor. Kind of just making sure, like, you know, simple things to do, like emailing him. So we're gonna talk about this, okay? So why is it important to build a connection? It's going to improve your coursework. When you build a connection, that means any type of like confusion or maybe frustration or concern or questions you have, you're able to tap into that with your professor. That professor is going to be like, okay, well, this student really wants to pass. This student is communicating with me, emailing me, and, you know, providing me with feedback. Like he's going to really, or she is going to really make sure that you are successful in the class, and he or she is going to provide you with the resources to be successful. I know past experience, I was having a difficult time in math, in my math 96, and I was just so stressed out, you know? And he's like, you know what? I see that you're working hard. I'll stay after to help you for about 30 minutes on different sections. And that really helped me because I was communicating with him on my struggles, on my challenges, you know, barriers that I was trying to like overcome, because, you know, math came very difficult for me. And so that helped me out, just communicating and building a connection with my professor. You could build references. Now, all of us want scholarships, free money. We don't want to take out loans. We want to make sure that we are able to have recommendation letters and just people that we know in the education field. What if you need a job or you're trying to apply for an internship? You can use your professors as references and for your recommendation letters. Even if you wanted to try to work at the school that you're going to, it's a great way to build references and network. It's all about networking too, guys, because It's really important, which brings me to my next topic, networking. Networking is key. I mean, we all are trying to strive to have a wonderful career that satisfies us, not only financially, but spiritually, personally in our lives. So finding people in those circles is great because opportunities might open up, doors might open up by just networking and finding out what other people are engaged in and you engaging with them. So definitely try to network, okay? And then career building. Another reason why you need to build connection is that some of these professors have connections with people that are in maybe possible job fields that you want to integrate into after you graduate, or right now, like I said, externships and internships. And they might have some more insight because they've been a professor or they've taught in this school and they know these amount of people in these fields. So it's all about making sure you set yourself up for success and for opportunities. That's the key, is just making sure you have opportunities and doors that opens up. So that is why it's important to build connection. And how do you build a connection? Well, definitely introduce yourself to the professor, email them on the side. This class has started. Say, and usually they have like an introduction welcome assignment that you would have to say, okay, it's like your name, your major, why are you taking my class? And, what do you aspire to do at City? And then you have to respond to your other classmates' posts. But I would just go a little step further and email him on the side separately from that assignment and say, hi, professor, my name is so-and-so. I'm really excited to be in your class. I want to learn from you. If your major is within that class that you're taking, maybe you can ask them for some resources or places that, might help you further your career out. And so always emailing them, and letting them know that you want to be as successful as possible. You want to learn from them and you're excited, And if this was in person, you would visit their office hours. But since it's not in person, they have Zoom office hours or contacting them through Canvas or email. Know the best way to contact them. This is found in your syllabus, like I stated previously. Professors have their own preferences, so make sure you read that thoroughly. Some professors like to be communicated with through Canvas only. Some professors like to be communicated with through Canvas, through their through the SDCCD email, or they have a number that's listed, or they're gonna provide Zoom hours throughout the week, office hours. So you just want to make sure that you know the best way to get in contact with your professor. So if you're trying to, you're able to, okay? Because sometimes questions come up during assignments, and you want to make sure you can communicate. Communication is key. Always communicate with your professor, whether or not that is if you're going to miss a class, if you have something that was unforeseen that happened, in your life that came up in a family emergency, always communicate. That will also build a big connection, and they'll see that you are serious about, passing your class and your education. Participate. Like I said, participation. You have to participate in your classes, okay? It's not just going. Like now it's online. You can turn off your video. You can turn off your sound, your audio, and just, you don't want to do that. You really want to integrate yourself in the class, participate, and they'll see that. They'll notice the difference between students that are just there and students that are like, providing feedback, answering questions, really integrated and focused. So definitely do that. And now utilizing office hours. What are office hours? Like I said, office hours is a time outside of the class that the professor has scheduled for students who have questions or concerns. So like I said, we're not on campus. The campus is closed due to COVID-19, but you are able to meet with some professors through Zoom, and they will list out their office hours. Some of them might have 2 days out the week at different times. So make sure you write that down. So if you need to meet with them, you can. Another thing is ask questions. If you are stuck, do not stay stuck. They're there for you. They are there to make sure they clarify those confusions. So ask questions, clarifications on assignments. Communicate with your professors if you're struggling. Like I said, don't struggle alone. If you're struggling and you really want to pass the class, there's still opportunities. Professors are being very flexible and they're very empathetic. I want to say, in my opinion, that City College has one of the most amazing professors, and they're so passionate. I've been so lucky to have professors, and I know Diane probably can share the same sentiment. And so don't feel afraid. I know being vulnerable can be hard, but I think this is your education. This is what you have set out to do to better yourself and to provide for yourself and your family in the future. So please communicate with your professor on challenges, obstacles that you might be facing, and they'll try to help, I promise. review exams or papers. Always review your exams and papers. And what I mean by that is before you take a test, of course, review it, study it, practice it, know it, you know. But after, if you received a not so good grade or, you know, a decent grade, but want to do better next time, review those papers and exams. And you can do that with your professor. Hey, professor, I got a 78 on my essay. I got a 78 on my exam. I want to kind of review on what are the things that I did wrong? What things can I change? What things can I improve so I can get a better grade next time? Get feedback, they'll give you feedback. They'll tell you, okay, well, this is the section where I think you are, you know, you're weakened in, like you need to strengthen this part, or you need to study more for this, or you need to practice more for that. So definitely they'll give you feedback, and they'll also really feel like, wow, this student really wants to learn, really wants to pass, and they'll be willing and ready to assist you with that, okay? Now, if there's any questions with that on how to get in contact with your professor, syllabus, building a community with your professor and your classmates, please post it in the comments. We are answering your questions. Give a little bit moment for that. Now, if you haven't done so already, can you please sign in so we can follow up with you? We really want to kind of just share some information with you throughout the semester. And I would like to take this time to say that I do have a Canvas shell. It's titled Student Success One-on-One. And this is a perfect opportunity to interact with students like yourselves that are where you are or maybe a little further, that can give you advice or share their experiences. You also will have an opportunity to interact with me one-on-one through our student lounge and through the Ask Questions Now, you know. And so please, if you want to be enrolled, I can post that link in the comment, and all you need to do is click that link, put in your CSID, and you are enrolled in our Canvas show. I promise you, you won't regret it. I post announcements throughout the week about opportunities such as scholarships, and you know, if there's laptop loans, if there's, you know, just resources that can support you. So yes. So I'll give another about 20 seconds for any questions, and if there's none, then we'll move on. All right. I think I'm gonna let Diane take over now. And so Diane, the floor is yours. I'll stop share so you can have yours shared.
Thank you. So one moment, please, while the screen shares. But I do want to go over while we are waiting for it to finish loading, why it's so important for time management. And so we want to go over this because, and we're going to go over time management and study skills together because of how interrelated it is with each other. They mesh together, and you want to have both because that's how they both best work. Okay, so.
Give us a brief moment. Diane is a little frozen right now. Of course, there's some technical difficulties. She'll be right with us and she'll start sharing her screen. All right, so I believe Diane has hopped out because of probably connection, but we can continue until she hops back in. So I'm gonna share my screen again. I'm so sorry about that. And as soon as she hops in, we'll continue. So Diane was gonna talk to you briefly about, oh, there she goes. She's back in with us. There we go. Hi, Diane. Welcome
Hi.
back.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll stop sharing.
I was like, where did everyone go? Thank you. Okay.
You're welcome.
So we were on talking about the importance of time management, and so how it can help us fulfill our goals and not feel overwhelmed. And so that's why we want to keep a calendar. And as you can see in the picture, the usefulness of having a planner. And to help us study more efficiently, we can organize a planner in the following ways. First off, there are many types of calendars that you can use. So for example, we have phone calendar. You can just use it on your phone. It's pretty much free. The dry erase calendar. So if you have a whiteboard and like having it laid out like that where you can erase and put stuff up, that's another option for you. You can just use a regular notebook and jot down your daily activities and things that you have to do, or even outline your month. You can use Google and their Google Calendar. You can just buy a regular planner. You can use Canvas, or you can also use online free calendars. There's some that you can even print out online if you have access to a printer. And so that can be very useful to you if you like writing things down instead of having everything on your phone or relying too much on your phone. Now, I want to point out that there is no right or wrong way to do this, as long as it works for you and it's helping you achieve your goals. Okay. So here are some strategies when creating a calendar. First of all, you can separate work, school, personal, or have it all in one. If you decide not to separate it, I encourage you to highlight or color code it just to make it look a little bit organized, if you have a lot going on. Also make it fun, use colors, use stickers, post-its. You can also keep it simple. It's all up to you as long as it works for you. But having a planner and jotting things down can be very therapeutic, especially if you like adding colors and stickers. When you're putting everything into your calendar, you want to prioritize. And what I mean by that is seeing what's most important. And then when you see what's most important, then you can schedule things in between. And if there's something that overlaps, right there, you can plan it out. What is going to take the priority and what will you have to cancel or let someone know that you won't be able to make it. And so that's why it's very important to consider these first 2 weeks, because you're adjusting to the classes and figuring out the coursework. You want to jot everything down within these 2 weeks, see what you have, and that way you can manage yourself better throughout the semester. You can see upcoming tests, when are good days for you to study. If there's a project, you can break it up into parts, see how you want to manage that, and that can even help you if like me, have an issue with procrastination. It's very easy to leave things for after if you see that there's a due date later in the semester. It can be easy to put it off, but if you really look into it and break it into parts, you won't have you won't have an issue with you accidentally leaving it last minute. Also, make sure that you're checking your calendar daily and you're making changes accordingly. So when you put in your calendar, if you like to-do lists, or even if you don't, you do want to check it daily just to make sure you're on top of things. And if something didn't work out, if you had to cancel anything, or in your to-do list you just weren't able to do everything you wanted to do, that's fine. But you do want to check accordingly and make those changes. Jot down that you canceled it. Maybe next time when you're planning your to-do list, you'll see what to plan and what not to plan for that day. Okay. Now, here's some suggestions on what else you can add on your planner. As I mentioned before, you can add all of your assignments on your calendar from the beginning of the semester to the end of the semester. So once again, that syllabus is very useful for you to see everything that was due. And then from there, jot everything down in your planner or in your online calendar. Once again, if it's a project, you can break it up and see when you want to have something done. So set goals for yourself. And when you're setting goals, think short term. Sometimes when it's a long-term goal, it's good to have a long-term goal, but you want to break that goal into smaller things, just so that you're accomplishing it little by little. It'll help you with it being long-term. Once again, update it weekly or daily. It's up to you depending on how you work with using your calendar. I personally like updating it weekly, making sure I have everything in, and then accordingly would go daily to make sure I'm doing everything. If there's something that I have to postpone for a different day, that's what I would put an update in my calendar. Also, schedule breaks for yourself. And this is very important because, as we said before, when you're managing your time, the reason why you want to have good time management is to avoid feeling overwhelmed. But that's also implies for you to schedule breaks for yourself. If you know you have a busy schedule, schedule your lunch time or schedule a specific time frame where you can spend it for yourself, maybe some type of self-care, so that you have time to breathe and really, reflect and relax. You don't want everything to be work, 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 or school, school, school. And as of course, as a student, when you're studying a lot of hours, your brain sometimes can get tired. So definitely take breaks for yourself. Okay. Other things to add, if you're going to combine everything together, add your work schedule, your class schedule, so that you can see when you're working and when your classes, and make sure that they don't clash. Again, study times. Other than projects, you want to study, so allot some time for yourself to study and for homework. Again, exam presentation days. If you're planning on study specifically for an exam, jot that down, put that in your calendar. And then other personal things such as doctor's appointments, family dinners, social time, any of that, you can put it in your calendar because it's good for you to reference. If you have a doctor's appointment the same day as a class, then what you can do is email the professor and let him know that you have another appointment, you can't make it, but you do want to maybe do the work, or if you can know what the class is going to talk about in that lecture that day. So just so that you aren't behind when you come back. And also so that things don't clash with each other and you're not double booking yourself. Other important dates to add to your calendar: your registration date and time. So when the next semester is starting a couple months before, so in November, you will be getting that date on My CCCD. Go ahead and write that down in your calendar, and circle it. Make sure that you're ready for that day and time. Also, jot down your first day of class, so when the semester begins. If the class is short term, this is very important, because that way you don't forget that the class started that week. You can get dropped potentially if, let's say, you missed an assignment that week because you forgot that the class started later. And if it ended early, that it's also helpful to see when the class ends. Also, FAFSA deadlines. So the new application for FAFSA always comes out October 1st online, and whoever or the few first people who do it they can potentially get more money than people who do it after, because there's special pots of money for those early birds. So we highly encourage you to do it October 1st, but put that in your calendar. Also, drop and withdrawal deadline, so that you can find it in My DCCD, and that's where you see the date that the last day that you can drop the class without a W, and then the last day that you can fully withdraw from the class, even though there's a W that will be in your transcript, but you won't be getting a grade. So right now, today is the drop deadline for those classes that started last week on Monday. So when the semester started, August 17th, today, August 28th, is the last day that you can drop it. So keep that in mind if you're needing or you're not sure about a class. Today is one of those important deadlines. And of course, it's very important to have your exam or essay due dates there, as we mentioned before. And once again, plan ahead for these important dates so that the day of, you already set and ready for whatever important thing you're going to be doing that day, or you're scheduled to do that day. So does anyone have any questions so far? Okay. And if you're just joining us, thank you for joining us. We are posting the assignment sheet or link in our comments. So you're welcome to please sign in to our presentation, but also feel free to ask any questions. Comments are fine. We want to know what you think, if you have any comments or any questions. And another thing too, we want to get to know you. So you're welcome to post your name, your major, because we also want to get to know you. Okay. If there are no questions, I will continue with the next topic, study skills. So for study skills tips, be selective in note taking. So don't note take everything down. You want to write down only what's important, especially when you're listening to a lecture. Also, you want to practice active listening by concentrating and actively thinking about what's being presented. You don't want to be able to just repeat everything back. That's not the point. The point is that you're fully understanding and that you're able to explain it on your own terms. So when you're studying, you want to schedule out timeframes throughout your week in increments spaced out so that you can better retain the information rather than just study it one time and then study it again right before the test or the exam date, because you won't really retain any information. And as you can see in this graph at the bottom of my screen, the bottom corner, if you're studying from day one, from when you had the lecture, of course, you're going to remember everything. But as you don't study throughout the month, you're slowly forgetting that information. And so by day 7 and by day 30, you might have little remembered or memorized about that. Where if you're spacing out your study time and you're studying maybe 10 minutes, 5 minutes, or reviewing the information a little bit, you might not remember everything, but you'll remember a lot more. And so when the test comes, you won't have to study and stay late the night before. So that's why if you do this, and even when there's a test the next day, you never want to wait till the last day before your exam to study, because you won't have the best retention. And on top of that, you will be feeling overwhelmed, and that can hinder your concentration. Now for study skills, you want to know your learning style. And the reason why it is important for you to know your learning style, it's because that's how you want to take your notes and to help yourself. So there's 3 types. There's the auditory learners, the one people who learn better by hearing. Then we have visual learners, we have people who prefer things like graphs, illustrations, pictures to learn. And then we have kinesthetic learners. So that's students who like doing it themselves to better retain the information. But then these overlap. And so you have the ones that like listening and being able to see what people are doing, or someone who likes to do it and hear someone instruct them. So there's different types of learners, and you may have several that overlap, but also keep in mind that it depends on what subject you're learning. So for example, math, I like seeing it and then how the teacher does it, but also how she says she's instructing us how she did every single thing. She's explaining it. That's how I learn better in that subject. Where in history, I prefer, videos, because the concepts can be sometimes hard to connect. So I prefer the writing it down for kinesthetic, but also seeing how they connect visually. So there's some of them might overlap depending on the subject, or it could just be how you prefer learning. And so when you apply this to everything and to study, this is where it comes where when you're going to take notes, you want to identify the main ideas. So how are you going to identify the main ideas can depend on your note-taking style. So it could be by the outline method, Cornell notes, or it could also be by using a flow chart. So it can be very dependent, your learning style, with the note-taking techniques that you will use. remember, you're not trying to write everything down. So if you're taking notes from a book, you're not going to rewrite the whole book in your notes. You're trying to jot down what's important, the key concepts. And that's why outlining and then using Cornell notes and then or charting and seeing those connections is very useful when you're trying to see the information and study for it. Another thing to keep in mind when you're doing your notes, make sure that you're able to read them and that they're organized. If it's a lecture, you want to put the date for it so that you know what day the lecture was. You want to use colors, so highlight important concepts. You can doodle. It's okay if you doodle because these are your notes. You're going to study for them. They're going to help you. I think I suggest is sometimes during lecture, if you're writing quickly, rewrite your notes so that you can remember the information. Like we said before, it's better if you're studying a little bit every day. So rewrite those lecture notes, add questions in the margin when you're reviewing your notes so that when you ask your professor during those professor hours, you're clear about the information, you're understanding all of the information. So remember, don't ask those questions last minute because last minute could be too late. Also, you want to know your best time to study. So some people are really good at waking up early and are more awake in the morning, so that's when they study. They're early birds. Other people are night owls, so they study better in the evenings. But the main thing is that you're studying when you have the most energy and when you're able to concentrate the most. Okay. And so some study success tips. So right now we're doing online virtual classes. And so sometimes you're in Zoom and maybe the class, it's not required for you to have your video on. Well, how can you better be prepared for these classes and to concentrate better? Well, I suggest setting the mood by organizing your study space. Now, this doesn't have to be fancy. You don't have to buy yourself a desk. You want to make sure that you have everything you need at hand for you to have an organized study space. So if you're in your sofa, maybe you're not, and you're using your table in the living room, you want to make sure that all your books are with you, your pencils, maybe some water for you right there so that you're not distracted looking for the stuff that you need. When you're studying, you also want to prepare some type of snack so that you're not thinking about food and wanting to constantly get up and go grab yourself something. So that can be another factor to reducing your distractions. And also schedule breaks for yourself. So this is also when you're studying too. Have some type of, maybe after 15 minutes of just studying, you're doing a 5-minute break. You get up and maybe get some water, just walk, play with your dog if you have pets. That way you have a breather of all the information you're trying to learn. And make sure you have a goal in mind when you're studying. So you want to create a to-do list. Just so that you see what you want to accomplish. And let's say you weren't able to accomplish everything, but you have things left over to do the next time, and you can keep on writing more things to do for the next time that you're going to study. Okay. Does anyone have any questions so far? And once again, we understand sometimes during Zoom, it's easy to just forget about the, because if you don't have your video on, it's easy to forget the same in class way that you learn. But if you're actively paying attention to the professor, a lot of these professors, they're showing a PowerPoint. You want to pay attention. If you're taking notes, that's very helpful. Once again, don't jot everything down, but definitely write what's important so that you can review those notes later. It's the same way as if you were in class. So now we want to go into student success support services and resources. Um, and so the first one that we have is the English Tutoring Center. So I don't know if we have time.
We have a couple of times, so I was going to kind of go through it pretty
Mhm.
quick, but yeah, go to that. Did you want to show them, Diane?
Yes. So there's a video that they have, but you're able to find all of their information on the city online remote services website. So I already have the tutorial learning center up, but the one I want to show you is um, let me city website here, remote online student services. And so this webpage has them all listed. And the one that I wanted to show you is the English Learning Center, or the English Center. And the cool thing about it is that they're available through Canvas. And you can submit, let's say you have an essay due sometime soon and you need assistance. You're like, I'm not sure about this, if this makes sense. You just want some feedback on what you wrote. You add them on Canvas. You just follow the link the same way that you would add our link. Just by clicking on it, it sends you to Canvas, and then you just click enroll. And so there you're able to submit assignments just so that they can review it with you. There's one-on-one peer tutoring sessions. They have a lot of wonderful support services. They're available Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., and then Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. And that's their fall 2020 hours of operation. They also have the Tutorial Learning Center, which is online tutoring. Um, they do math, they do several subjects, and then there's the library. So the cool thing about the library is that if you are doing a research paper for one of your classes, there's an online chat feature that you can contact an academic librarian online, and you can just chat with them. They can suggest books that you can look up to look for the right information for your topic, for your essay, and for whatever research you're doing.
Awesome, 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 Diane. And the last thing I wanted to kind of show them, I know we're in that 12, it's 11:46 now. I wanted to kind of show them the Math Center page as well. And so just so they know that there is math services. And the great thing about this is that there's services on Saturday. So I know most of you sometimes might be full-time, full-time job, parents, and just have outside obligations, like I mentioned before. Just know that there are services on Saturdays as well. So let me just see if I can. Could you see this?
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes. So here we go. There is some. So there it goes, Saturday hours, 10:30 to 2:30. So take advantage of that if you are busy throughout the week. And I believe there's Saturday hours for the English Center as well. So this is a great resource, great opportunity to connect with tutoring centers. Once again, like Diane said, these are free services for you. So please use these services so you can be as successful as possible. I know Diane was mentioning the tutoring. The only other thing that I wanted to highlight, I want to kind of visit, is the student health clinic and the mental health services. So this is very important because you pay your health fee, right? And so with your health fee, the benefits and the opportunity you have is to have consultations with the health center, and there's a health clinic. And now it's open, but you have to call in order for you to make a consultation. So I want you to visit this webpage at your leisure so you can thoroughly review some of the services that are provided to you because you paid your health fee. There's a virtual front desk, and that's Mondays through Thursday. They are Tuesdays and Wednesdays. There's different times. There's also, I believe there's a Zoom here that you can kind of tap into to speak to someone, our health professionals on campus, whether that's with your mental health or your physical health. They have both, and they're a dynamic group of professionals that are willing to help you with this. So, and there's also information on if you need insurance and other good resources for people that are struggling with mental health issues or just need some support in that area, you know, so definitely take some time to review that. I know we are caught up from time. So that's what I wanted to highlight. I just want to say thank you so much for joining. Like this has been amazing, Diane. And why don't we just review some of our services and our upcoming dates?
Yes, of course. So we do have city ready sessions throughout the month. So this was our second session. If you haven't attended our first session, in that session we do talk about the actual San Diego City College website, how you navigate it, the remote online student services website, and we highlight several other departments as well that you can, the services that they offer and how you can contact them. And so how you can find information on the San Diego City College website. We'll also give you a short overview on My SDCD portal and how you can navigate it. So that could, we mainly focus on how you can add classes, but also what other information it is important for you to be able to see on your portal and that you know where it is. And then finally, we do another overview about Canvas and what is Canvas and how it is used for college, especially right now since classes are online.
Yes, yes, yes. So like Diane said, tune in next Friday. We're going to have our City Ready session, part 1. This was part 2. Part 1 involves the remote online services more in depth. We covered some resources that you can tap into, but we're going to cover Canvas, My SDCCD portal, which you should be a little bit more familiar with, but we'll show you some other tips and tricks on that. And so throughout the week, some of the things that we're going to be starting that we were doing before was our how-to video series, our web tip, Web Tip Wednesdays. And so please stay tuned on our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram social media channels. And then I would like to just once again invite you guys to enroll into my Canvas Shell Student Success One-on-One, where you'll have a chance to meet with me and other students like yourself. So this is an interaction platform. So if you want to build a community, join our Canvas Shell. I'll post the link in the comment. It's been posted before. And so you can get updated information. You can find out about cool opportunities like scholarships. There's like 3 different scholarships right now that you're able to apply for. That's one thing that I kind of wanted to go over, Diane. The scholarships, the 3 opportunities like Friends of Downtown. Let me see if we can pull that up real quick. I apologize. That's one thing that I kind of think is really important to share with them today.
And so these are wonderful opportunities that we highly encourage you to apply. If you think, oh, a lot of people are going to apply, that's what other people are thinking too. So we highly encourage you to apply. If they require a letter of recommendation, you know, you can see that right now when you're applying, and you're welcome to email a professor or a counselor that you have connected with before. Just make sure to give them a heads up, so, and don't do that last minute, so that you're giving them that time to write, to be able to write it out, to better help you in your chances to get that scholarship.
Yes, yes, yes. Sorry, it's taking me a minute right here to pull up the site. There we go. All right, so real quick, I just want to say at sdcity.academicworks.com, those are where you'll find, I'll put the link up there too, those are where you'll find the scholarship opportunities this year for vocational and technical scholarships. Also, there's academic scholarships, and there's a Silvergate Bank scholarship as well. And you'll find those opportunities at, it's sdcity.academicworks.com. And if you could put that on the link, and then the Friends of Downtown Scholarship is really good too to try to apply for as well. And I'm gonna put this up real quick just to see. Sorry if it's like in this type of format, but right here, you'll see the Friends of Downtown registered for 9 or more units at City College in the fall. You can get all the information. This is also information that is on my Canvas shell. And so you can tap into these resources if you enroll in my Canvas shell. So I invite you to, this one is the one for the Friends of Downtown Vocational and Technical Scholarship. So if you're under that category, you need to be registered for 9 units. must be available for an interview October 9th through the 16th, must be able to attend a word presentation and so forth. And so open August 17th until September 27th. And like I said, this is the, oops, sorry, excuse me. This is the website that you will be able to look up these opportunities in, okay? So I'm gonna stop share. So I wasn't prepared to share that, but I just was, oh my gosh, scholarships. So thank you again for joining us. I really appreciate you taking your time to get all this information. I hope you found this insightful and found some good information to help you along the way. Like Diane said, join us for our next City Ready session next Friday, and stay tuned. Thank you, stay connected, and hopefully you have a great semester.
Another thing too is that if you guys could please fill out our evaluation form, we will be posting it in the chat. If you haven't done so already, I know please fill out that sign in form, but also if you could leave us your feedback just so that we know how you liked our presentation and if you would like to see another type of information within the presentation, because we take your comments seriously and we deeply want to give you that support, so let us know.
Thank you, Diane. Thank you. So let's see, I'm gonna be, there we go. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Have a beautiful, beautiful Friday. Enjoy your weekend and stay focused. Bye.